This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Pensacola State Today. I'm your host, Drexel Gilbert. Coming up on today's program, we tackle the topic of TRIO. That's a network of programs for students 6th grade through, adulthood, who need guidance on getting on and staying on the college track. And a big honor for Pensacola State College as it relates to the military student population. Joining us in the studios now, Dr. Ed Meadows, president of Pensacola State College. And Dr. Meadows is here to set the stage for us for the conversation that will follow with the directors of each of the 5 aspects of the TRIO program. So Dr. Meadows, give us an overview of TRIO and why it's beneficial to the students at Pensacola State College.
These are grant programs that are funded through the United States Department of Education. They've been around for years and years and years. Originally there were 3 programs, now there are 5. But it's really a support of students that are in college. It is a support and information program with the Upward Bound program for students in middle school and their parents to understand what it takes to be on a college track to get into college. It's often geared to first-generation college students whose parents never had the opportunity to attend a college, or it's geared to students that are in specific target populations that are economically disadvantaged. The veterans programs, the latest 2 that have come up, our Upward Bound, we have the only 2 veterans TRIO programs in the state, as a matter of fact. We've had the Veterans Upward Bound program for a number of years. And it actually prepares veterans that are leaving service to prepare them to get ready for college. And the directors will talk more about those services. But the newest program, we don't have our director hired yet. We were just awarded this program this year by the U.S. Department of Education. So Dr. Douma will be talking about the purpose of that program. But it is very similar to our regular Student Support Services grant in that it provides services to students that have been admitted to college.
Okay, so it sounds like this is a really broad scoped program in that it reaches everywhere from middle school students, you said, and helping their parents understand what the college track's all about, all the way to veterans that are transitioning out of the service and back into perhaps for the first time or for the second time around their education. A lot's going on. I bet there's a lot of busy people that are taking care of all of this at PSC.
There are, and 70% of our students have to receive some form of financial aid to attend the college. Much of that, 23% of our students are either veterans, veteran dependent, or active military dependents. So the 2 programs that we have for veterans is extremely important to us because of the high percentage of military-related students that we do have at the college. And then the other aspect of this is that Escambia County is one of the poorest counties in Florida, and therefore there is a very large population of financially dependent upon assistance to attend college. So these programs not only help them understand in many aspects of finance and scholarships that are available and federal financial aid that's available, but it also provides them tutoring services and advisement and counseling services. So it's really important to our student population that either may be in a traditional college track or in a vocational or technical program.
And this helps with the student support services. It's not just getting the students in college, it's keeping them in college.
Exactly.
And it's not a sink or swim. There's somebody they can go to that can help them in this journey they're on.
Yeah, and of course it's always uplifting to go to some of the completion ceremonies where these students have participated in these programs, and to understand how important it is to them, for them to acknowledge that they would not have been able to have been successful in their college studies without the support of these programs.
All right, Dr. Meadows, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to bring in some of the directors of the TRIO programs and talk a little bit more specifically about what students can anticipate from and benefit from these. But thank you so much for being with us today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Welcome back to Pensacola State Today. The focus of today's program is to give you information on the TRIO program at Pensacola State College, of which there are actually 5 programs. And we are going to start now on this segment talking with Linda Shepard, who is a director of the Educational Talent Search, and Dr. Rebecca Causey, who is the director of the Educational Opportunity Center, and these all fall under the TRIO umbrella. Linda, let's start with you, okay? Because your part of TRIO focuses on students well before they ever get to Pensacola State College.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Well, it is known through research that children who are introduced into the concept of college preparation or any type of post-secondary training or education function much better and are more successful the earlier we catch them. So we start in 6th grade. We start with middle school students, and a specialist visits her group of students at the schools, and we start talking to students about what their dreams are, what their thoughts are in terms of college or some type of training. So that occurs at middle school. We work with them all the way through high school. And once they're in high school, by the time they graduate from high school, our students know where they're going to college, because we are not a recruitment program for Pensacola State College. We recruit students for college, period. And what we do is prepare them so that they're successful in the transition, as well as successful students, because the goal is not just to get them into college or some type of post-secondary training, but to actually have them complete whatever program that they begin.
Now, the students with whom you are having these conversations from grades 6 through 12, are these students that normally might not end up in a college environment at somewhere down the line if this type of program didn't exist for them?
Absolutely. This community has a tremendous need for TRIO programs. The program focuses, the target population is first generation, meaning neither parent has earned a college degree, and low income. So that group of population, typically parents are not accustomed to the various resources that are out there to help their children. So many people feel like, well, we can't afford to send our child to college. So what we do is we educate them in terms of the resources available. We help them with the entire process from beginning the planning, the admissions process, financial aid. We inform them about scholarships. So once they graduate from high school, they know where they're going to college, whether it's PSC or University of Central Florida or Florida A&M or wherever, out of state, in state, and they have the resources, the financial resources, to be able to pay for their college experience.
Okay, now let's talk to Dr. Rebecca Causey, because there are students, even though this great effort from 6th to 12th grade is made, there are students who maybe don't get connected or that fall through the cracks or for whatever reason don't get the benefit of the Educational Talent Search, and that's where you come into play with the Educational Opportunity Center. Tell me how that works.
That's
and for
correct.
whom it works.
That's correct. We do go into the schools, as Linda does and her specialists do, to talk with those individuals who are not enrolled in her program, so that we can educate them also and tell them that there is a lifeline after they get their high school diploma. so that we can assist them with all the processes of getting enrolled into college. We do focus on the adult. We primarily focus on the high school seniors and older. And so we are always talking to people in the community who have a desire, a dream to go to college, but they don't know where to start. And they possibly didn't hear about it in the home, as well as at school, or they didn't think they could do it. And so we try to reach out, locate those individuals, and help them through the process.
Now, for many people in this situation, it's not just they may have the desire to go to college, but they fear they can't even afford to come and ask for help to try to get to college. That's not a barrier here.
That's correct. Money is always an issue, just about for anything. And a lot of people do believe that they don't have the funds, they don't know where to get the funds to be able to enroll in college. And as part of our process of orienting the individuals as to what help is out there for them, we do talk with them about the financial aid process, the Pell Grant, and other scholarships that might help them build that base in order to afford to go to college.
So for the person who's sitting there watching this program and saying, yes, that's me, I want to do this, how do they connect with you?
We operate by appointment. We're easy to find. Our phone number, if I could give that to you now, is 484-1961. I have offices throughout Escambia and Santa Rosa counties. And so they can contact that general number and we'll get them in touch with whichever office is most convenient to them. We have a simple and quick intake system because we have to have, there's certain qualifying requirements that we have to meet in order to fulfill the grant process. So we'll ask a few simple questions. We'll indicate to them what kinds of documentation they need to bring, and I have individual specialists that will sit with them one-on-one and help them through the process.
Okay, now I loved what Linda Shepard said earlier about when you go in with the students, you know, you ask them, what are your dreams? You know, what do you want your life to be? So I'm thinking now with you, there may be adults out there that maybe think the dream is passing by, or maybe they feel that they're a little nervous about coming and asking these questions. I'm gathering they're going to find a welcoming atmosphere, though.
Yes, they are. The specialists are extremely passionate about what they do, and with that one-on-one experience just helps to break the barrier of the anxiety. We see people coming in tears sometimes because they want to change their lives. They want more out of life, and they want to have a better income base. And so they come in anxious, sometimes in tears, and within that 60-minute process, they walk away with hugs and smiles on their faces, and it gives us a good feeling.
Great. All right, Linda, we're about out of time here for our segment, but I did want to give you the opportunity to let folks know how to get in touch with you if there's somebody that feels like they need to.
Absolutely. We take applications. They can call 484-1620. We're located here on the Pensacola campus in the Student Affairs Building. And all they need to do is to give us a call. We'll take some information and be happy to send an application out.
Okay, thank you. Thank both of you for being here. And when we come back, we're going to hear from a former student who was impacted by the TRIO program. Welcome back to Pensacola State Today as we continue to explore the TRIO programs and how they benefit the student population at Pensacola State College. A few moments ago, we talked about the Educational Talent Search, which is targeted to students grades 6 through 12 and getting them ready for their college journey, and also the Educational Opportunity Center, which targets high school seniors and adults who may have missed out on that initial college journey, but who are wanting to continue their education now. We segue now to Rachel Burns, who is the Director of SSS, Student Support Services, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And also Corona Davis, who is a former SSS student, but is currently still a student at Pensacola State College, and we'll talk about her college career in a few moments. But Rachel, talk with us a little bit about what Student Support Services does. What's the value and the benefit that this particular TRIO program has to the student population at PSC?
Okay. Well, Basically, it's a student success program. So the goal of our program is to help students stay in school, graduate, and transfer, if transfer is their goal. And one of the main things that we provide is our own tutoring lab. It's not a tutoring lab that any other PSC student can access. It's just for our student support services students. And we also have our own counselors or advisors, and they work with students on everything from not just their academic advising, but also their career counseling, financial aid counseling, transfer counseling. We're kind of a one-stop shop for our students. So we provide lots of services, wraparound services that help students stay in school. And kind of those are the official services, and what's sort of in between the lines that's not really written is we tell students all the time, we're your family on campus. We're the place that you need to come to first if you have any issues, and we're the place that you need to be when you are having challenges or facing issues that you need to get some help with in school.
And why is this important?
First generation students and students who are low income face barriers and obstacles that other students don't face. They've not had anyone in their family who was successful in graduating from college previously. They don't have a role model to follow. They don't have someone who blazed a trail for them. They are the trailblazers for their family. And so they need that additional support. They've not seen anyone else go through this experience. So they need people around them to encourage them and cheer them on and to let them know they can do it, because college is like a foreign world to them. It's an experience they've never had before, and they're not prepared for it.
All right, well, let's talk to Corona Davis. And Corona, you are a former SSS student. You graduated with your associate's in degree at Pensacola State College and now are pursuing your bachelor's of applied science. So talk to me about what the SSS portion of TRIO meant to you as a student at Pensacola State College.
Well, what SSS meant to me was, it was a very good, like Ms. Rachel said earlier, it was a one-stop shop, because I knew nothing about college. I didn't know where to go to get resources. And my husband stumbled into the office one day, and he found out the resources that they had for students that were coming back to school. So when I was younger, I didn't have someone to say, hey, you need to go to college, you need to do this. So I knew nothing. I didn't know where to go fill out financial aid. I didn't know what to put on my paperwork. I didn't know about math tutoring. I didn't know about anything. But the support that they gave me there helped me to graduate with my AS degree there. I went in to speak with Mr. James. He was my counselor, Mr. James Blackwell. And he helped me with all the resources. Everyone in there is so helpful. Like, if you don't know where to go to get your student ID, they can tell you that. They can tell you about other campuses that they've been to and traveled to give you paperwork to let you know, well, you can go here, we can transfer you from Pensacola State College to UWF if you want to go there, to whatever college it is you would like to attend, they can help you with that. They also helped out, they had a book loan program that some of the times I didn't have my books. I couldn't afford them. They would loan them out to me. That would help me with my classes so I would be stressed less.
Right.
According to my classes. But everyone there is so helpful, and the lab is also great. The lab is open every day.
What would you say then? I mean, I hear you talking, but I want to boil it down. Without this program, you think you'd be where you are right now?
No.
Yeah? Where would you be?
At home. I would have not graduated.
Okay. What would you say to students? Well, first of all, let me ask you this. How long were you out of school before you went back?
I graduated in 1990.
From high school?
From high school, and I came to college 2015.
Okay, so you were out for a while. So it can be intimidating to go
Yes.
back to college when
Yes.
you've been out for a period of time.
Yes.
What do you say to students or to adults who are sitting home watching this program perhaps, or know someone who's in that situation that says, I can't do that?
I would say you can do it. There are resources out here to help you. If you get stuck in a place, come to Building 6. Student Support Services can help you. They can tell you which way to go from here. You will not be lost. You can do it.
What do you
through
think
the tutoring lab, through the people in the office, you can do it.
Oh, well, obviously, Rachel, this program has meant so much to Corona, and I just saw it all over her face when she first walked in the studio, and now it's becoming even more evident. And thank you so much for sharing your story. I gather that you hear this a lot.
Yes, pretty much every day. So many of our students would not be able to stay in school without student support services. It's a lifeline for them. It gives them the ability to persevere and provides them with the resources that they lack outside of this program.
And it doesn't cost them anything to do this.
Everything is free, not just the advising and the tutoring, but we do so much more. We take our students on trips to visit four-year colleges for those that want to transfer. That's all free. We even provide money for lunch. We provide all the transportation. We take them on cultural events. We try to broaden their horizons. We take them to plays and museums, places like Bellingroth Gardens, really opening up their eyes to more in the world that they haven't been able to see because of the background that they've come from.
Okay, so we're just about out of time, but would you describe this as life-changing?
Yes, it is. It has been it has played a big part in my life.
Well, I can't tell you what an honor it was for me to meet you today and to be able to talk with you and for sharing your story. And thank you for the good work that you do, Rachel.
Thank you.
And TRIO continues to do work across the board. And when we come back, we're going to find out how that the TRIO programs also benefit veterans. Stay with us. Welcome back to Pensacola State Today, where we are talking about the TRIO programs at the Pensacola State College campuses. And joining us now to talk about how TRIO impacts veterans, the veteran population of students and veteran population in our community, are Gregg, who is the Director of Veterans Upward Bound, and Debbie Douma, who is the Dean of Institutional Effectiveness and Grants. That's a big title. You have a big job. We're going to talk to you about your job in just a few moments, but let's start with you, Rob, because the reason I said impacts the veterans, the community of veterans, is that Veterans Upward Bound actually is targeted to help veterans become students. They are not actually on campus whenever you begin your conversations with them. Is this correct?
Well, actually, you're right. We like to think of it as a boot camp for college, for vets, to help them understand that this is to prepare them for an academic education.
Boot camp for college. Okay, but please tell me you're not going to tell them to drop and give you 50.
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. Sure. So what does this boot camp do for these veterans?
Prepare academically. Often vets come out of the military and they take care of family and have to live their lives. Well, they put college on the back burner and they get rusty when they decide to come back. And we're there to knock off the dust, so to speak, and prepare them for success.
What about the veterans who have been out and they really do want to knock off the dust and go back to school, but they feel a little intimidated because they've been out for a while? What can they expect whenever they come through your service?
What we as vets always look for, camaraderie. There's someone just like us who understands our struggles, and that's what they'll get with us.
Okay. All right, Debbie, let's talk to you about a new aspect to the TRIO program, Veteran Support Services. Do I have that right?
Student Support Services.
Okay.
Yep.
Talk to me about what this is going to do.
Well, once Rob's program in Veterans Upward Bound has helped them prepare to become students, and they're actually registered in enrollment in classes at the college, Veteran Student Support Services then picks up the it's still the camaraderie. They still will be with veterans, but they'll be able to get the other support that's needed, maybe some additional tutoring, help with the academic development. We want them to complete once they do get started. So there's opportunities to attend cultural events, all kinds of advising and counseling, personal, academic, financial, a lot like our current student support services, but really the services are geared for the veterans population and to give them the like population that they can, that really understand what they've gone through.
Well, that's where I was going to go back to you, Rob, about, because there is a special camaraderie or special need for this particular group of students or would-be students.
Absolutely. Oftentimes vets, as a student vet advisor also, we hear them say that they feel out of place because you're coming in with a different identity. You're accustomed to having a great deal of responsibility, and now you have to start all over again.
Okay. What's the cost factor?
It's free.
There you go.
It's very free to all eligible vets.
Okay. And how many would you say that you serve in a given college year?
Well, we're tasked with serving 120. This year it was 132.
Okay. And Debbie is same. Now this is a new program,
It
right?
is.
Okay. And
It is. We're very proud of this. There was only one VSSS awarded in Florida, and Pensacola State College got that one, and there are actually only 14 programs in the nation. This is brand new as part of the TRIO family of grants from the United States Department of Education.
okay. If someone wants to get in touch with either of you, how easy or difficult might that be? Rob, we'll start with you.
I'm just a phone call away. You can contact me at the VUB office, which is 484-1438.
Okay.
And the same thing, you can call me at 484-1705. We are in the process of hiring a new veteran qualified director for the program, but I'm the interim right now.
Okay. And of course, everyone who's watching this program understands that the huge veteran population that we have in our community and the impact veterans have on this community and the appreciation for their service. Is this a nice way to be able to give back?
Absolutely. I feel passionate about it because being a vet myself, it just excites me to go out and offer these opportunities to other vets.
They're an important part of our community, and the college is an important part of the community, so it just makes sense that we recognize that as a targeted population in our student body.
What's the appreciation factor from the veterans who come through these programs?
I guess you'd have to be on campus. I mean, if you walk around and you're in the vet center, you can see the excitement they have that they're being recognized and these opportunities being offered to them.
You know, we call it a sense of place, that they need to feel comfortable, and I think having all of the services in the same area helps with that, so they have that comfort level of knowing that there's going to be somebody that understands what they've been through and what they're currently going through now with going back to school.
And that always helps because you feel like you have that support network and you're not just going it alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Rob and Debbie, thank you so much for being with us today and talking
you.
about how the TRIO program helps veterans in our community and gets them back into school and helps them stay there and take their career journey to see it to fruition. Thank you. We will take a break and be right back. You might call it Lucky 7, except that luck has nothing to do with it. But for the 7th straight year, Pensacola State College has been named a military-friendly school by Victory Media. The military-friendly schools designation is awarded to the top colleges, universities, and trade schools in the country that are doing the most to enhance military students and to dedicate resources to ensure their success in the classroom and after graduation. PSC offers veterans many benefits, including the Dr. G.B. Tamburella Endowed Scholarship, Ross C. Shiver Endowed Scholarship, Purple Heart Waiver, My Career Advancement Account, Veterans Upward Bound, Veterans Student Support Services, scholarships for children and spouses of deceased or disabled veterans, and service members' GI Bill and Pell Grant. For more information about veterans programs at PSC, contact Veteran Services at 850-484-1670 or Veterans Upward Bound at 850-484-2068. And that's going to do it for this edition of Pensacola State Today. I'm your host, Drexel Gilbert. We'll see you next time.